So we're going about the route and we get this warning on the dash. Whoops. Now that symbol there looks like a refill of DEF, and the check engine light, it matches that stuff there. But it's still showing I got 3/4. So I'm wondering if there's I don't know. So we just turned around and went to the closest auto parts store for some DEF. Oh, she's full. Yeah, so it's full to the top, so that's a bummer because it means DEF wasn't the issue. And I just did a service on engine oil, fuel filter, air filter. I'm trying to think what I could have possibly done, if anything, that would have messed that up, and I can't think of anything. Yeah, I'm not sure what it could be. I'm not sure what else I could check, because if it's not DEF, I can't look at anything for the SCR. Make sure all these guys are plugged in. I don't know. P20C9 $07E8 generic. There's a little PD at the top of one, so they're all the same there. P2201 $07EB NOx sensor circuit range performance bank 1. And then again there's a little PD up at the top of that. I looked up those codes on YouTube and found some of the sensors that it might be, so I figured I'd just try to see if there's anything obvious, you know, broken wires, clogged sensors. I think it's wrong to say unfortunately this truck is so new, but it seems extremely unlikely that sensors are clogged on a less than 8,000 mile vehicle. So I really didn't see anything out of the ordinary, and this didn't help at all. Turns out it's not as simple as poking around at some sensors. And it's related to a recall that I only knew about, not from the dealer, but when I called Isuzu corporate after I purchased this truck to figure out the warranty that was on it. They said, hey, there's a recall you should take in your local dealer. And then the tech at Nimnik Isuzu, he told me there was a recall too. I needed to come in. I didn't get from the way they talked that it was something that would cripple the truck, which I wish I would have just taken it in immediately. Because I've known about it for months now. I just didn't know. From my understanding, it was some kind of computer update. I didn't know it was something that would stop me from driving. So now I've got to drive about an hour, 50-something miles to Nimnik Isuzu in Jacksonville, hoping that at no point during that trip I either go into low power or D-rate mode, which, if you don't know diesels, if they sense something wrong with their exhaust system, they will gradually lower your speed. I'm sure it's different for all different kind of model trucks and vehicles, but the Isuzu will go from 55 to 35 to I think 25 to 5 miles an hour. It will limit you to say, hey, you need to go to the dealer immediately. That's what I'm trying to do, so I'm gonna hope the old girl works with me. We'll find out. Let's see if there's any chance it just went away on its own. No. Okay, we're still going to Jacksonville. All right, this is the part that really scares me, going over this bridge. All right, we made it safely. No issues. We're here. All right, we're at 2 o'clock. Isn't that the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? And I'm just tickled pink it's gone. Obviously can't hold them to anything. I had to just take it and go. I think normally they like to hold on to it, but yeah, Nimnik Isuzu's helped me out of quite a few spots now at this point. And this is Brad from the future with a little more information for you. One of the first things I've got to say is how much, not just do I appreciate Nimnik Isuzu, but more specifically, a few individuals. There's like 3 people that I have interacted with on a regular or semi-regular basis at Nimnik Isuzu. There's the guy at the parts counter, there's the guy who drives the parts truck, and then there is a service tech. And those 3 guys have, I don't know if it's just the regular level of service, but from what I've experienced, it's made me almost certain that if I do get another garbage truck, it's going to have to fit on an Isuzu body because of the level of care that I've gotten. And at least in the context of this video, a huge thanks goes to the service tech who helped me identify what the issue was. I reached out to him and I was like, do you have any idea what this could be? And he answered me and said, yeah, it's probably this code and it's related to this issue. And sure enough, when I put the code reader on it, it was the same exact code that he was talking about. He got me in on a 1 p.m. appointment the next day. And as I mentioned, it was 2 o'clock when I rolled out of there. So he got me in and out in like an hour of my appointment time, which is remarkable to me. I don't know enough about this industry to know if that's normal, but for a garbage truck to go down, to get in next day at a dealer, and then to have your issue resolved within an hour of that. I mean, obviously it's just a recall for a computer calibration thing, so it's not like they did an engine teardown in an hour, but still, I got turned around in under an hour. That's pretty crazy to me. And as I did more research after the fact, it looks like just kind of bad timing. Isuzu might have sent out their campaign information July 2024, and I bought this vehicle August 2024. So if I would have bought it a little bit sooner, maybe Isuzu would have sent me a letter. I don't know why the dealer in Tampa who sold it to me didn't let me know about it. But still, the folks I called at Isuzu Corporate let me know about it late August of last year. The service tech who I've been dealing with, he let me know about it. I want to say weeks or a month or 2 ago. So that's why I say in the title, this was my fault. This was something I could have prevented if, as soon as I found out about it, I would have scheduled some time to go to Jacksonville for this recall. Unfortunately, I didn't, and I winded up in this situation. Now, the bigger and more important topic, especially if you are interested in starting your own business or you have a trash pickup business and you're curious about, well, what happened when you couldn't pick folks up? As soon as we found out what was going on, I made a post on our Facebook page that explained everything that was going on and all the information I had. In addition to that, I shared that Facebook post on several local groups that have combined about 23,000 people in them. Why would we do that if only 93 people on our Tuesday route are going to be affected? I don't want any impression of hiding issues. While I do feel a little shame that the truck broke down, I'm not ashamed to admit that, hey, unfortunately there's going to be a delay in service, and this is what we know so far. I felt like anything other than full, complete transparency, even if that meant showing something potentially embarrassing to tens of thousands of local neighbors in the community, that shows that I care about letting my customers know about the delay. And to me, that's the most important thing, is making them aware, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. You're not going to see us tomorrow, and here's why. We're going to be by Wednesday. In addition to updating our Facebook page and sharing that out, I updated our voicemail on our phone. So if anybody called in, it said something along the lines of, hey, this voicemail is current as of 5 p.m. on Monday. Here's what happened to the truck. Here's the time I'm going to be at the dealer. I'm going to follow up with more information Tuesday afternoon when I know what's going on. I also added a promotional pop-up. That's what Squarespace, the people who do our website, that's what they call this feature. So anybody who visited BakerCountyTrashPickup.com would see this pop-up that said, hey, you're going to have a delay, just so you know. The other thing I did was send an email to all the folks who were affected, the 93 clients that we have on Tuesday that we pick up. I sent them a bulk email. Now you may ask yourself, Brad, wasn't it difficult or time consuming to email those 93 people? And I'm happy to say, no, it wasn't, because I use Jobber. a CRM or home service business software that makes running my business easy. It took me about 20 seconds using Jobber to generate a report that had all the email addresses I needed. And from that, I was just able to copy and paste them into a blind carbon copy Gmail email. If you run a home service business and you don't use software, you've got to try something. Whether or not it's Jobber, I don't care, but you really should get some software. It's going to save you time and a lot of sanity. Like any of the times I mentioned Jobber, if you want to try it out for free with a discount code after, there's a link in the description where you can do just that. I also followed up with another bulk email Tuesday afternoon once I got the truck back and it looked like everything was good, just to confirm, yes, the truck is good. You will see us tomorrow. I did that in another Facebook post as well, and I shared that post in those same groups that had about 23,000 folks. Now here's the fallout I experienced from that missed pickup. I had one person call me Tuesday morning asking where I was. I was driving to Nimnik, Isuzu, so I couldn't answer their call safely. When I called them back after I parked, they said, yep, I was just trying to see where you were, but your voicemail answered it for me. They were okay with it. They were not upset. Well, if they were upset, they were nice about it, and he said he was fine with it. So updating that voicemail message, that was a good move for that customer. I had another customer a little bit later while I was waiting for service who texted me and said, hey, sorry, I didn't leave the cans out today because, we weren't feeling well and we forgot. So I was able to tell her, don't worry about it. Check your email. You didn't get missed. Just put them out today. We'll get them tomorrow and you won't have to go to the dump, which she was saying, she apologized for missing it. She'll take it to the dump and we'll get her next week. So that worked out there. I also had an individual call Tuesday evening around 6 p.m. and say, hey, we put our can out, but it hasn't been picked up. Why? So I was able to explain the situation to him, and I was also able to verify his email address, which it was actually his wife's who's on the account. And so I was just able to tell him, if there ever is a delay, be sure and check the email on file, check our Facebook, our website. We'll give you updates there. Or you can always give us a call, and either I will answer and explain or the voicemail will be updated. So that worked out as well. Aside from those three interactions, there was no one else who had any kind of issue about it. I can't say for certain whether that means the other 90 people got the message. We still had some folks who had missed pickups on Wednesdays, so that could be people never even checked their emails at all on Monday or Tuesday from us. They didn't know what was going on and they just forgot to put it out Tuesday. That could be. And in something I didn't expect, I had one person reach out on one of the public posts we made and say, hey, I've actually been meaning to get with you about starting service. Would you mind sending me a message? And so I followed up with her, and sure enough, we added her to the route. So this missed pickup, it caused me a lot of embarrassment and stress, but once Wednesday got there and we started doing the work, I felt a lot better. We only had 2 people reach out about why haven't you picked up the trash. That was by phone. Everybody else, either they got the update or they didn't even know about it. And we ended up picking up one customer because of the posts that we made. As far as breakdowns go, this was an ideal scenario. It was maybe a glitch more than a breakdown that was a simple computer update fix. I say simple. I never could have done it because I don't have any of the software. But from the dealer's standpoint, it was simple. So I hope that gave you some insight. I know one of the most common questions I have received since I told you guys we were starting a trash pickup business 1.5 years ago was, well, what happens when the truck breaks down? And my plan was anything inside of a week, we will probably just push the pickup. If it's going to be longer than a week, that's when I'm either going to have to go get a garbage truck or, a dump trailer and just suck it up, buttercup, and go pick up all the trash manually. But for something like this, where they got me in on a next day appointment with the truck, all I could do was say, we're taking it in and we're going to go from there. I'll update you tomorrow afternoon or evening once I hear from the dealer. While this was, I would consider it embarrassing, and definitely stressful. I really can't complain. One, it was an issue that I caused because I didn't take care of a recall I knew about and I was informed about multiple times over the course of a year. Secondly, it ended up working out great because there was only a 1-day delay, and the technician at Nimnik Isuzu, I don't know if he pulled some strings, but I am convinced he pulled some strings to get me in that soon. And, almost within an hour of my appointment time, I was back on the road going home. Nothing bad to say about any of the parties involved except myself for putting it off this long. So if you have an open recall on your Isuzu, go take care of it now. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.